All right, y'all, what's happening? It's Carolina Chuck. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to a local stand-up comedian named Matt Clark. I seen Matt Clark's show a couple years ago when I first came to town. Dude's hilarious. And he also makes black tie cocktail syrup. Plus, him and his wife do a Facebook vlog about different cocktails that they make in their backyard. I think it's called In the Backyard with the Clarks. It's funny. The guy's awesome. But the black tie cocktail syrup is a real big hit around town. It's in a lot of the local places where they sell like beer and stuff. And it's in a couple of local bars. So check us out on the Carolina Chuck podcast. We'll see what the mix is, boy. Y'all be good.
Silent.
All right.
Awesome.
So what's up?
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Good.
Officially. Somewhat,
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Or unofficially, whatever this is.
I don't know. It's kind of official now. We shook hands out there.
Yeah, and public and everything.
Yeah, right there right downtown.
Yeah, perfect.
So, let's get how I saw you. I went to a show a couple years ago.
Okay.
You and Kevin Downey.
Yes. Yep.
You opened up for him. I was pretty wasted, so I don't really remember what you said, but it was hilarious.
Perfect. Listen. The drunker you are, the funnier I am.
Yeah, and then I've seen you come in the dealership a couple times, and then I've seen black tie all around town.
Yeah.
What the heck is black tie?
Okay, so black tie cocktail syrup is just that. It's basically flavoring street cocktails or mocktails. We're going to do a mocktail because I respect the fact you don't drink. So
give up
we're going to do a cool mocktail. And so my wife and I, we started, I wear many hats, I guess you would say.
Okay.
So I have, I've been in the liquor and wine industry for approximately 27 years.
Holy moly.
So we started but during the pandemic, everybody was locked down, and I said to my wife, I miss talking to people about my products. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to do a Facebook like video type blog type thing.
Yeah.
Well, just to show, talk about my products, tell people what it's all about. Because people are locked in.
Yeah.
There's only so much Netflix and Hulu you can watch. So we started doing that. We had some wine in the intermixed with them. But what we started doing was we would take a product, like a bourbon or a vodka or whatever, and we taste it neat by itself to really get the flavors of the actual product. Then we would make a cocktail. So we started making cocktails, and pretty much any cocktail has the elements of sweet, sour, and stuff like that. So you basically use fresh citrus juice, and then you add simple syrup. So every simple syrup that I was finding was like, not the greatest. So I started messing around, and the first one I came up with was my citrus syrup. So it's basically half lemon, half lime, and it's we're all real. I don't want to say organic because we're not. The acids that we use are organic, but we're all natural products. So when you read the back of our label, it's like our citrus. It's lemon peel, lime juice, lemon juice, a little bit of citric acid, a little bit of malic acid, and sugar and spring water. That's it.
Wow.
So there's no like dye number 7,
Right,
or
that's
phosphates or anything weird. Because we went to the store and started looking at some of these mixes, and there was like phosphates and yellow dye number 56 and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to put that into my product, because it's obviously it's not really a temple, it's more of a cathedral.
There's a thing about red dye.
Yeah, red dye's supposed to make you a little
weird, right?
Yeah.
So I've been freaked out. I won't drink anything red. I haven't even looked into what it was. I just heard it was crazy.
From what I understand, a lot of the dyes are petroleum based. So it's really just horrible bad for you.
Wow.
And the FDA allows us to consume it, which, if you go to England, I believe the Gatorade over there, the red Gatorade, is colored by beets. Really? So it's like if they can do it, why can't we do it?
Right.
You know, so it's just dollars.
Yeah, capitalism.
Yeah,
right?
we're not going to get. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. But
Right.
listen, I want to make you a drink. So this is one of my favorites. Is our citrus. So we talked about that. It's lemon lime. That just won a silver medal at the Los Angeles International Spirits Competition. We've got some really awesome awards for our products. Our old fashioned just got a platinum best of class from the SIP Awards. The cool thing about the SIP Awards is this: a lot of companies that are up and coming, and even like the big boys, like Brown Forman, who handles Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, who obviously has Jim Beam products.
Right.
They send their new stuff to these people because what it is it's a consumer based competition.
Right.
So they score them accordingly, blind tasting. So they don't even know what they're drinking. They're just told this is a cocktail syrup, or this is a bourbon, or this is a vodka or tequila, whatever, and they let the consumers rate it. So the second year in a row, we've gotten a platinum for our old fashioned. Second year in a row, we've gotten a gold medal for our blood orange, and we just received a silver medal from them, and an innovation award for our double espresso. So we're getting a lot. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Congratulations. That is
that. So
amazing.
we're growing with accolades and stuff like that because I feel that if you have that behind you, there's no place to go but up.
So let me ask you, where are you manufacturing this?
So we manufactured ourselves at the Shared Kitchen in Sackett's Harbor.
Okay.
And we're in there with Morges pasta sauce and Morges.
I've heard of those.
And Morges pasta also. Mm-hmm. And we have to have it made in a professional kitchen. A lot of people so who makes your syrup for you? And I just want to strangle them.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 5-hour process from
Right.
start to finish. For each one. And we're at the mercy of the fruit. So whatever the fruit gives us as far as like juice and the actual zest and stuff like that, it's not an exact science
Wow.
per se.
So you ain't messing around here.
Yeah, so we have to make it. We're regulated by the FDA as well as the Board of Health here in New York State. So we're a legitimate company. We make it ourselves.
Yeah.
We bottle it ourselves. We label it ourselves. We put that little black shrink wrap thing on top.
So-
safety seal, everything. So yeah.
Where'd the black tie come from?
So the black tie was my wife's idea. Mm-hmm. She wanted to, basically, we have our tagline, "Dress up your cocktail," and she's like, our outlook for the name of the business was like something that's already out there in people's minds already and on people's lips already. I'll listen. I will all for the rest of my life. I will give Nikki Sixx this. He said we need to name the band something that's already in people's vernacular, and he wanted to name Motley Crue Christmas. And Mick Mars, who was quite a bit older than those guys, he was a little bit, I guess, more mature, said, well, why don't we name ourselves Motley Crue? And they're like, hey, that's a great idea because, Motley Crue, that is a term in the vernacular of America. So my wife came up with black tie, and so there we have it.
I mean,
everybody knows about black tie affairs, you get dressed up. And,
it really, I like it. It was
Yeah.
brilliant because it's
Thanks.
stuck in my head and it's kind of led me to this conversation with
Yeah,
you.
cool.
But I'm really excited to try this
yeah,
because
let me make you a drink. I'm going to get the boom mic out of the way here for a second. I'm loud enough as it is. All right, so what we do is we are going to make a version of an Arnold Palmer.
okay.
All right, so we're going to add approximately 1.5 ounces of our citrus syrup. Okay,
Award-winning. Okay.
And then we're going to add this in here. And then this is fresh brewed green tea. It's going to be good for us.
Yeah.
We had to walk up a flight.
Yeah, there was some stairs, but we had to wait a good few minutes before we could start talking again.
So then we add, I don't know, that's probably about 20 ounces of tea. flavor, a little sweetness. Now you are from the South. Are you a sweet tea guy?
Sweet tea.
So you want a little bit more, probably?
That's fine with me. I can handle the sweetness.
I figured as much, man. So when people make sweet tea in the South, did they use a corn syrup or do they use sugar?
Sugar.
Beautiful. I love that.
A lot of sugar.
We actually use golden sugar with our products.
Really?
We also use turbinado sugar, which is like raw sugar cane for our old fashioned, and so it gives it all the richness. So this is the Elevated Craft Cocktail Shaker, greatest cocktail shaker in the business. Doesn't leak. Won't freeze your hand. It's awesome. So,
It's worth going back for. Okay.
now we shake. Just like the show.
Yeah. I love your backyard stuff too.
Thanks,
by the way,
man.
it makes me. It's like it gives you a really homely feel too, and then the edit you do is great.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and then the dogs too.
Yeah, the dogs. That it's excellent. I like it. It's relaxing to watch.
Yeah. And the nice thing is a lot of the cocktails that we do aren't weird as far as like yeah. There you go, my friend.
Thank you.
You betcha. And they're not like weird where you gotta get this funky bourbon or whiskey or whatever. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Dang.
You know what?
Oh my goodness.
How old are you?
I am about to be 38.
Okay, so you won't know this, but it's I'm 54, so I remember this when I was a kid. Don Meredith used to do Lipton iced tea commercials, and he'd go just like this. Dandy tasting.
Yeah. God.
So I mean that's we made it as a non-alcoholic for just such an occasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there are people who can't drink anymore, whether it be health reasons or the fact that a lady might be pregnant or whatever, but they still like to be involved with the parties and
Yeah.
and stuff
Definitely.
like that. And we have cocktails and mocktails on our website. So if you go to our bottle, I have alligator arms. So if you go to our bottle, on one side is our signature drink, and on the other side is a QR code.
Okay.
You scan that QR code, it's going to bring you right to the Citrus website, and you scroll down, there's a bunch of different recipes.
I could probably put that QR code up on the TV
Yeah.
right here later.
Yeah.
Dude, so because I gave up alcohol,
Okay.
but I do like to drink like kombucha every once in a while
Okay.
because it's got that strong kind of bitter taste. I could definitely jam with that right there.
Yeah, it's easy, just a little bit. I used a lot because we're both sweet tea guys, you know.
Yeah.
But listen,
freaking good.
each beverage. So, say for instance, you're making a 6-ounce beverage, you're only going to need like 2 teaspoons of that flavor.
Dang.
So that bottle will last you anywhere from 25 to 30 uses, depending on how much you use, or one big huge use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just crank it in there.
Oh my goodness. So you got a show coming up. This is going to air after the show.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's in Cape Vincent.
yeah.
And I got Kevin Downey Jr. coming again, and he is one of the funniest guys in the world. He's salt of the earth, really great guy. I've had him on several comedy shows for the USO.
Yeah.
We did. My friend Brian Doran and I, we started comedy kind of. Brian was on doing comedy maybe a year or two ahead of me, maybe longer. I can't remember, but we started talking about doing stuff for the military. Because we have friends who are friends and family that are both in the military, and some people who have unfortunately not made it. But so we wanted to do something, and we figured they're not going to send us overseas. Right. You know what I mean? So we'll do something local. So I went to the local chapter on Fort Drum, talked to Karen Clark, no relation, but
Yeah.
close enough. But so for the first 3 years, Karen was there, and we started off with a bang. We were at the Clayton Opera House. So we did it for 2 years at the Clayton Opera House, and it was really, really well run. Clayton Opera House people are awesome. Charlie and Billy were major sponsors for it.
Really?
You know, and it's one of those things. Those guys, I'm sure, are probably hit up all the time. But when it's something that deals with the soldiers, they really have a soft spot for the military.
I've seen Charlie come through quite a bit, and he will not. I mean, he goes after the soldiers every time they're in there.
Yeah,
and shakes their hand.
Yeah, they're great people, really. But yeah, so we did 3 shows with Karen, and then Karen retired. Her and her husband got a big RV and went down south. And then another young lady came in, and she was there for a couple of years. So I can't remember her name, but anyway, so we did 5 years of USO shows locally, and we raised over $25,000 for the local USO. And what's cool is in 5 years, but it all stays here. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's hitting and then going off to some other place, major metropolitan area or whatever. All of that money stays here. And then, of course, this business kind of kicks in, and that takes me away from comedy. So I'm not doing as much comedy as I used to, but some people are probably happy about that.
I don't know about that. This place could definitely, when comedy comes, people show up. I've gone out to 3C Bowling.
Yeah, I've been out there.
They've put on some heck of a show.
Yeah, Carter does a great job. And he gets a lot of major national acts out there.
He gets some big stuff.
I mean, and that room. I mean, it's a great little room.
Yeah,
but man, he's getting some big people. I opened twice for Steve Byrne. And he's been there a couple times. Funny guy. He's doing a good job trying to keep comedy alive. I do shows with the Hilton Garden Inn quite a bit. I've got one coming up in October. Do you remember that metal show on VH1?
Yes.
So Don Jameson's coming.
Okay.
So I got him and my friend Mark Riccadonna to come. That's going to be in October.
Really?
So look for that. That'll be an awesome show. The first time I ever saw Don Jameson, he was opening for Dice Clay down in Turning Stone.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was my 40th birthday, and I said to my wife, I want to go see Dice. So we went and saw Dice. He's unbelievable. And the stuff that he's doing now on Instagram. Have you seen it? Have you seen what he does on Instagram?
No,
my God, it's the funniest thing in the world. So what he does is he'll walk up. Oh, is that the cops? Honest, it's just
we better take a sip. While we wait, we hydrate.
So Dice has his Instagram.
Yeah.
And what he does is he'll walk up to these random people in New York City and go, You're the ones that wanted the picture? With the face?
Yeah.
And they're looking at him like, what? He's like, yeah, you guys you saw me over there. You gave me that look. You want to take a picture with the face. And they're like, buddy, I have no idea what you're talking. And he's one of the most famous comedians there are. And he'll every once in a while he'll get a guy that'll be like, "Oh my God, it's Dice," and then he'll really take a picture with a guy and stuff. And he's really generous about it. But just to see the looks on their face, they have no idea who he is.
It's like that random comedy, that street comedy. It's great.
Yeah.
I like it. Like how Jackass was and stuff like that,
Yeah, just unassuming people, just, they're not necessarily in on the joke, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So I got a joke I heard the other day.
Okay.
And I just want to share it with you.
Hit me. Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me give you a little background.
All right.
We had a sale, and there was a couple of random sale guys that came up to help us, traveling salesmen.
Oh, traveling salesman.
Yeah,
gotcha,
this is.
I did that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so one of them was actually lived back home where I did.
Okay.
And he came back to do another store in Ogdensburg.
Okay.
So I'm out on the lot with two people looking at a Honda Pilot.
Okay.
Now I'm really struggling to get some rapport with them. They're kind of not strange, but they're really like they're writing stuff down. You know, they're those kind of people.
They're the penny pinchers. Yeah.
And here comes the guy. He just got back. He's a professional salesman. He comes up to me while I'm talking to customers. He hugs me and I'm like, what the heck, dude? I'm in the middle of this thing. And he goes, y'all were looking at a Pilot. And they said, yeah. He goes, I got a joke for you.
Oh, no.
I feel a need to share this joke. He says, there's two Southern brothers. They're looking for work. So they go to the unemployment office. And the first brother goes in the back, and he talks to the lady. She says, what can you do? What are your skills? He goes, well, I'm a pilot. She goes, man, we got plenty of work for a pilot. Yeah, we got you. He's like, great. He goes back out, and he gives his brother the thumbs up, and he says, they got me hooked up. So that brother goes in there, and the lady says, well, what can you do? He goes, I'm a woodcutter. She goes, all right. She goes, unfortunately, we don't have anything for a woodcutter right now. He said, but you got my brother a job, didn't you? She said, yeah. Well, he goes, I got to cut it before he can pilot. That's it. That's it. It stuck in my head. Yeah.
You're at the end.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, it's all about the vernacular, man.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, and what's funny is people don't realize, your nickname Carolina Chuck, your accent, you're actually from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. Ohio. Like Drew
It's
Carey
funny.
over here.
I was working with a gentleman from France,
Mm-hmm.
and his English was very good, but he had a really, really thick accent. So I'm at one of my accounts, and we're going through his products, and he had some amazing stuff. So he's talking to these people, and they're like, they are hanging on every word. I go, before we go any further, I'm sure you guys have kind of figured out Guillaume was his name. Guillaume's really not from around here. I go, he's from Cleveland. He wouldn't stop laughing. He on the way home from that day, he called his mother in France, told her what I did, and they were both dying laughing about it.
Yeah. Like, dang.
Everything's from Cleveland.
Yeah, that's great. So, before you said you've been in what did you say? Like
It's a liquor and wine distributor, yeah.
for 25 years?
27, yeah.
27. So how'd you get started in that?
So I was a bartender at Bonnie Castle up in Alexandria Bay.
Really?
That was, back in the old days when there was a lot going on. We had the Home of the Stars is Bonnie Castle's major room where they used to have bands come. Like right now, they've had like Get the Let Out with the Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
those
dude.
guys are unbelievable too. By
Right.
the way, I mean, they sound just like the record. But back when I was working there, they used to have this band, the Shintas, and these guys were from Buffalo, and they would come up every summer, and they would work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 9 times out of 10, it was a full house. So anyway, so I was working as a bartender there, and a friend of mine was a bartender there also. Well, the couple years prior to that, he got a job with a liquor company, and he said that he had called me one day. He's like, "Hey, my company's hiring. They just let this one guy go. He went to another job or whatever." Mm-hmm. So I went to one of the local liquor stores, interviewed with one of the managers. Then on a Thursday, that Saturday, I drove to Syracuse and interviewed with another manager. He's like, "Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming in on a Saturday, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "I'll let you know." And this was like back when cell phones were like this big, Everybody had the big bag phone, He said, "Do you have a cell phone?" He goes, "Keep it by you. I'll call you today and let you know either way." So On my way home, about 20 minutes later, phone rings, answer it, got the job. I was there for about a year, and then I went to another company, which I had been there for about 7 years, and then I've been with this company that I'm currently with for almost 20.
So what do you do exactly? You're
So
like in the sales. pretty much?
yeah, I sell liquor and wine to local liquor stores and stuff like that.
And
So
how-
I know pretty much if it's in a bar,
yeah.
I've either had it or sold it or drank it or whatever.
So how does that work with your black tie?
Well, the nice thing is we're non-alcoholic, so there's zero,
There's
there's no competing.
competition.
Yeah.
You just got a freaking
Yeah.
book of business
Yeah.
to go with
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We
dude.
we have a lot of local stores like Bottle Caps underneath our Stone Wine and Liquor. They have it. State Street Market up the street here has it. Crosstown Jilly Brown has it. Across from Watertown High in the plaza. We have it in Market on Main Street in Sackett's Harbor. We have it in Eclectic Boutique in Carthage. We have it in the Celtic Knot in Canton. So we're diversifying. We're getting it around.
Yeah.
What's nice is we make some small bottles for our retail people so they can have people taste it, because it's one of those things. It's people don't really know what it is,
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, if you taste it, you're I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, but about 7 out of 10, if you taste it, you're gonna buy it, because it's that. I mean, no offense to my own horn, but they're that good.
Yeah, I think somebody had it at the night of your show that I went and I tried some. It was in the bar area.
Yeah.
I think I did try some that night.
Was it at the Hilton or was it Billy's
It
place?
was at Billy's place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah, the time where people were bartending,
Yes.
we had
Yep.
we had it there. That was one of the first nights. Yeah.
Dude, that Kevin's girlfriend's hilarious.
Oh my God, she's so funny.
Wow. Like she's
But
just,
to talk to her afterwards, she's so quiet.
yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, but she came on was kind of slow, and I was like,
Yeah.
but it led up perfect. Like her delivery
Yeah.
was great, and Kevin, he was pretty
my
funny
God.
too.
Yeah, he was on America's Got Talent.
Really?
Is it America's Got Talent? Yeah, America's Got Talent with Heidi Klum and those people and whatever.
Wow.
And he got to like semifinals, and I forget who won that year, but doesn't
It
matter.
don't matter. He was on
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
I
Yeah,
follow him on Facebook too.
yeah, and and the other thing too is when I called him for the USO, he goes, "Don't tell anybody." Here I am telling everybody.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't tell anybody, but I'll take basically like half of what he usually does."
Yeah. Oh wow.
Which
dude, there's some things
he's-
that make you feel good. That's better than money. I'm gonna talk to you when we get done with this about an idea that I got
Sure.
to. But yeah. So, what did you bring any that I can leave on that shelf right there?
sure,
Because
absolutely,
I want to put it up there so that it's
absolutely, yeah.
But dude,
And you have a shirt now.
yeah.
You can cut the sleeves off if you want.
Yeah.
I don't judge.
I might leave the sleeves on that one for a little while, show my guns off, So I just went and gave away some tickets to the fight and everything, and
So when's that?
that's Saturday.
This
It's
coming
the
Saturday?
18th, yep.
Okay.
There's some. I know a lot of the fighters. I actually did the Battle of the Badges, the boxing thing.
Yeah.
I was in.
How was that?
It was cool.
Do you
man.
box?
I did box. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like have
Before
you-
that, yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
so
I
you understand to keep your hands up.
Yeah, I hadn't boxed since 2011, but
Yeah.
it was cool.
Was it like falling off a log or?
Nah, it was pretty scary until I got in the ring, and then it just took over, and
Yeah.
I won and everything.
Oh, nice.
And but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Headgear, the whole deal.
Headgear. This is a funny thing. I was in the back and getting ready to go down there, and they're like, "Where's your cup?" I said, "I ain't bring no cup." And they give me this big goofy thing. They said, "You got to wear this under your shorts." And I was the only guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I came out.
Those
looking-
things though, you can hit it with a bat.
Yeah.
You don't even feel it.
Yeah, but look, I look kind of crazy when I came out. Everybody,
funny.
they make fun of me now. There's a picture printed of me at work hanging up. They call it my diaper. They said the only reason I won because I was wearing a big old diaper. But
The old camel toe, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Moose knuckle, whatever it is.
I gotta have that, man.
My God,
you
yeah.
intimidate your
That's
your
one of those.
opponent with a big cup, you know.
That's right, yeah.
Well,
You know
dude,
what
I
they say? You know
appreciate
what they say though? You know,
What's that?
The old thing is big hands, big feet. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Dude, so I like these videos you're doing. I mean,
Thanks, man.
We need to maybe I'm gonna come over and sit.
Come
with
on
you one
over.
day.
Here's the thing: we do our cocktails in the backyard when we do them. You know, my wife's very busy with her hair salon and stuff. Sometimes she doesn't get home till like 8 o'clock, and you know, but she has no problem putting me out there when the snow's going.
Yeah.
But you know, so we sometimes we'll go like a week or two, sometimes without it, which I think we lose followers and stuff. But you know, life is going on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
It's
Yeah.
not like we're
But keep it up. I mean, I
yeah,
really.
we really enjoy it. Actually, we have my mother-in-law in there sometimes too. She stays with us, and yeah, it's one of those things. It's just fun. We're not taking ourselves too seriously, obviously, but we just want people to make a couple drinks, have some fun. You know, I mean, there's plenty of ways to use our products, type thing. You
Yeah.
know, and we had one lady. I'm going to unfollow you. And I'm like, okay. So she says, when you first started, you started making drinks and stuff that I had in my house. Now you're trying to sell me this syrup. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a business. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It's like it evolved and you watched it evolve. You know, and if you're going to leave because I'm trying to hawk my wares, oh well.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
that's what the heck, dude. That's wild.
And listen, just leave. Don't tell me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I run into a couple of not really on Facebook as much, but on TikTok, I'll see some people throw out some negative stuff
Yeah.
and try to fish for it. And Scott Webb, probably one of the sales guys up there, he gave me the best advice. He's like, just don't say anything, and they go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because they're looking for the reaction, you know.
right.
Yeah. Well, my reaction was delete.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
that's awesome.
Delete.
I've got the power.
Exactly. Yeah.
But look, Matt, I think we got about enough. So
Hey, yeah, man, cool. I'm glad to talk with you, and yeah, I'd love to do it again. I'd like to have it on our show, and
Yeah.
because one of the things is we make cocktails, and I'll be 100% honest with you. We are probably like 98% with regards of the cocktail tasting good, because we sometimes we'll make them up ourselves. Sometimes we'll follow a recipe. We have an app that we use.
Yeah.
It's called the Cocktail Party app. It's very inexpensive, but there's like hundreds of thousands of different cocktails. And a lot of it is just, like take, for instance, the big cocktail right now is the espresso martini.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically pulling out an item and plugging in something else.
Yeah.
So the espresso martini is vodka, cold brew coffee, Kahlua, and hopefully our double espresso syrup.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take out the vodka and you add like Jameson cold brew, which is a Jameson coffee flavored whiskey,
Yep.
that's awesome. Or if you take out the vodka, you put in like a reposado tequila. That makes the whole. I mean, that's pretty much what cocktails are doing. You're pulling out product. You're pulling out one product, inserting another, just to make a different cocktail, and it's as simple as that. It's not rocket science by any means. I mean, there are some cocktails you got a pinch of this and a pinch of that, but we try to stay away from those only because I like to try and make stuff that people are. Chances are the cocktails that we make, you already have the booze in your house.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can go to the liquor store relatively easy and grab it. So it's not like we're using, I have Newt and all that, weird shit,
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
But you can get as wacky as you want with cocktails.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, put lavender and stuff like that. People are like, hey, you going to ever make a lavender syrup? I'm going to say officially here, no. Just like that.
Yuck.
No.
Heck no.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do a lavender one. I'm not gonna do a mint
You're gonna taste
one.
bubbles coming out.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you do that. We go lick a Yankee Candle. You know what I mean?
It's gonna taste like soap. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, yeah, nice. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the beverage.
Dude, I really did.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I do like feel like that's good.
Awesome, my friend. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll have you over some